All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. It is officially season 2 of the podcast, mere days before season 1 of Midnight begins. This is, of course, things probably look a little bit different to you guys. Hopefully things don't sound too different, but thank you for being here, not only to anyone watching this live, but anyone stumbling upon this on Spotify, YouTube, etc., etc. And of course, a huge thank you to not 3, but 2 guests. I've trimmed. I was about to say I've trimmed the fat. That sounds horrible. That's not what I meant for the record.
Who you calling fat?
Me.
Shout out to that third guest.
But I have trimmed down to 2 guests, and really excited to just kind of see where this season leads and goes and whatnot. Before I introduce these guys, I do want to take just a brief moment. Of course, my name is Brutall, but you may or may not know about that. You may or may not care about that. But this show is all about just inviting people on, people who care about WoW, people who play WoW, people who know about WoW, and just having fun with them. Chat interaction is a huge component to the show. So if you were tuning in via Twitch or YouTube Live, please participate as much as you want. We have commands such as question, such as poll. You can submit questions for our guests with the question command. You can submit or answer the poll, of course, with the poll command, etc., etc. And of course, because Twitch finally allows us to put more than just Twitch chat on the screen, I'm happy to report that YouTube has joined us in the chat box. Give it up for YouTube chat. Well, welcome, YouTube chat. But of course, as you can clearly see, I'm joined today by Jedith and Rob. Rob and I go way back. We've known each other for about 20 minutes now, so very happy to have you here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, apparently your chat thinks you're just as bald as I am, so that's interesting.
For some reason, yes. It's been going on for a long time now. Like, I've heard that, like, I'm actually bald. The hair is actually AI. It's not real. It's a wig. I've heard it all.
That's fantastic. Your hair is beautiful. Luscious locks, as they say. So let me introduce these guys officially here. Jedith, we're going to start with you. Which I need to. So it's actually okay. So Jedith is over this way. I got to remember. Jedith here is a Canadian content creator. And by the way, real quick, you may notice that Jedith has a crown in his webcam frame. Jedith, could you actually take just a brief moment to explain why you have a crown?
I have a crown because I am the best guest that has ever graced this podcast.
Yep.
That's a fact.
So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Jedith is the first person back for a second showing, so he officially has more shows under his belt than anyone else, excluding me, because I don't count, of course. So welcome, King, back for the first episode of season 2 and your second time here overall. But Jedith is a Canadian content creator. He's focusing on Demon Hunter gameplay. Now, you're primarily Devourer at this point, right?
At this point, yeah, until they get like nerfed even more than they did this past weekend. Then I might have to switch back to Havoc, but we're flying by the seat of our pants here.
He's known for running tons of Mythic Plus and happens to be jumping back into the raiding scene this season of Midnight. Yours truly is as well. Rob, I'm going to get to you in a moment, but are you actively raiding this season?
Not really, no. Like, I'll go with some friends, but yeah, dude, I don't know. I think my Mythic raiding days are behind me.
I said that 5 years ago, and look at me now. But anyway,
yeah.
Jedith says what really sets his content apart is how he's able to take deep and often confusing theory crafting, breaks it down into practical, easy to understand explanations that regular players like me can actually understand and use. You can find Jedith making long-form guides on YouTube regularly, and he streams multiple days a week on Twitch and YouTube. And as per usual, I should say, we've got names and icons and stuff. Everything's in the description below. But let's give it up for Jedith for being here for his second time, baby. Congratulations, sir. Enjoy that crown. It's yours for at least a week. So
okay, I'll take that.
Yeah,
yep.
At least a week.
Next episode, and then you have somebody else who's gonna steal my crown. I'll have to fight them for it. I'll be back.
See how it goes.
I'll be back.
We'll have to have a duel.
Yeah, in game.
I'm not much of a PvPer. I would lose. And of course, we've got Rob over here. Rob X is a Mythic Plus enthusiast, a warrior main, although he has been known to dabble in the world of alts a little bit, or a lot of it. He spends a lot of his time running keys with his community. He's known for breaking down dungeon mechanics in the way that makes Mythic Plus much more approachable and understandable for the average WoW player. You guys have that in common, it seems. Like breaking things down, helping people out. That's good. Rob here can be caught, of course, live on Twitch Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Oh my
I'm
God,
an
that's
early
early.
bird.
That's
Oh,
early.
goodness. That's crazy, man. Well, thank you both for being here. Welcome to the show. We're going to just hit the ground running here. Appreciate you guys taking... Listen, it may not be 8 a.m., but it is noon where you are, right, Rob? Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's still early for me.
Are you on West Coast?
No, East Coast.
What? Oh, you mean early in the context of when you start your day?
Yeah.
Did you have to wake up early for the show?
Not necessarily, but I had to rush myself into getting started, you know.
Oh,
Usually I'm laying around or,
Yeah.
you know, you just, yeah.
Well,
it's fine. Happy to be here to claim my crown.
I'm happy to have you here as well, man. Yeah, we didn't come up with this whole crown thing until like 5 minutes ago, so I truly, it was time well served, time well spent, because you're amazing, and I think it's important to recognize when someone does something awesome, like showing up twice for a podcast. Let's get into it, man.
Chad.
How was, dude? Midnight's been out for 2 weeks now, right? 2.5 weeks. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Has it been? Wait, has it been two?
So.
Oh wow, it has. Oh my God, 2. I guess since early access or whatever. How was launch? Did you guys have fun? What'd you do?
Oh, now I have 490, so I've been playing quite a bit.
Whoa.
4.
Yeah.
Wow.
4. Listen, I'm gonna one up you. I just hit
Okay.
my 6th this morning. 6,
Good
baby.
Lord.
Guess how many I play? 1. I play 1 character. I just play my hunter. I don't know why. I'm in the habit of leveling characters. Anyway, I cut you off. 4. What warrior is your main? Correct. I
We
said that
got
earlier.
Fury Warrior, Rep Paladin, Unholy DK, and Survival Hunter.
Fun. Survival hunter. Horrible choice. Bit more of a BM
Horrible.
guy might. Yeah, I said what I said. All right.
Okay.
I said what I said. Listen,
I can respect that. Stand by it.
We both said that we go back to like 2005. Like our roots are old at this point in time. And I still remember the day that survival swapped from being ranged to melee. And I still just, my heart has been hardened. I've never forgiven or gotten over survival losing its ranged classification.
I know someone who still has not forgiven them and talks about that on a regular basis.
Is it me? Because that defines me.
They are still mad about it.
I actually stumbled upon a YouTube video, I don't know, however many months ago, 6, 8, 9 months ago, 6, 7 months ago. And it was the gentleman who, I don't think he works at Blizzard anymore, but he's the one that made the decision to change survival from range to melee. And it was probably the closest I've ever come to trash talking someone in YouTube comments. I refrained, but man, I wanted to so bad. I have a chip on my shoulder for sure about that. But anyway, so warrior, survival hunter, again, horrible choice. But what else is going on with launch specifically?
I mean, we just been grinding the dungeons, the Mythic Zeros. It's been nice to just do 4 world tours in a week. That's been great. Grinding out professions, doing the Renown stuff to get those champ pieces on all of them. I've been busy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Jedith, what have you been doing, man? The same. I mean, there's not much. Not like there's much else to do, right?
Yeah.
But how was launch for you?
So I'm gonna be the odd one out here. I only have 190. Because if I play anything other than Demon Hunter on stream, people riot. So
Do they really?
the only time I can play an alt is in my own downtime, and typically in those times I don't want to be at my computer playing because I'm streaming for 12 hours. So yeah, I only have 190 so far. Launch night was a little different for me than it has been in the past. Typically launch nights are like a big ordeal for me. Like I do marathon streams and, you know, we're up until 5 or 6 in the morning and there's drinks involved. But this time it was very short-lived. I got tired around 2, 3 a.m. We did do a subathon though. And one of the goals was that I had to take a big bite out of a raw onion.
Oh,
So yeah, that kind of ruined my night and the next day after. I am so opposed to onions. I hate them. I
hate onions too, man.
They are the devil in food form.
Watch your mouth. I love onions, but just taking a bite out of a raw onion sounds horrible.
Yeah, it ruined my taste buds for a few days.
Yep.
My
yeah.
goodness.
So that happened. And yeah, no. other than that, launch has just been it's been pretty smooth. For me, there's a lot of my streams have been sort of fielding questions from people about Devour because it's so brand new, and there's not a lot of information out there yet. So I'm kind of like taking on all the questions, and it's making my mental break down a little bit. But I'm hanging in there by a thread.
I have to, this is the total tangent here. Forgive me, everyone, but my daughter just slid this under my door. It's just I have that NVIDIA broadcasting, so it blurs my background, but it's just a paper full of little hearts.
Oh, nice.
That's
little
adorable.
hearts. And it says Savannah for Daddy. Oh.
You can put that on your wall behind you.
Well,
yeah, there you
go. I have like 4 or 5 things. She's just constantly coloring and stuff. But how sweet is this? I have a bunch of her artwork around here, but I, of course, will keep this. That's adorable. Very, very kind of her, showing love and support for all of us. So if I may I tack on to what you were saying a moment ago, Jedith?
Sure.
I just turned 40 a month and a half ago, and I literally feel it or felt it in my bones, what you were saying, up until 2 or 3, and did you say you called it an early night or something of that sort? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
My God, man. So I play in Area 52. Area 52 was down for about 45 minutes right as early access went live. So that was fun. But eventually when I got on, it was whatever time it was. And it took me until about 3 a.m. to hit max level. And I cannot emphasize enough to you guys just how tired I was by the time 3 a.m. rolled around. My adrenaline had worn off. The caffeine didn't do anything for me at that point in time. I was done. And I told myself, I woke up the next day and I told myself, never again. Like, next expansion, I'm splitting it up. I'll stop at like 95 or whatever it is, and I'll do the rest of the levels the next day. It was rough, man. Of course, I make the joke regularly, oh, I'm old or I'm feeling old, but I literally did. I felt old on launch night. It was nuts. You can see here, by the way, anyone who is watching the screen, the first question the poll asks, how was launch night for you? And the majority of people, it's closer to 50-50, actually said smooth and awesome. And then I specifically said some hiccups, but still fun because of the whole Area 52 debacle. But yeah, I had a ton of fun, and I've been having a ton of fun with launch. And I didn't really play. I quit in Shadowlands because Shadowlands, and I played a little bit of Dragonflight, played a little bit of the War Within. But I've been having a blast with Midnight, and I don't know if that's because I'm excited to be back, and I'm just getting back into the swing of things, or if it's just genuinely a good expansion. I'd like to say it's the latter, because for me, it's been so nice just having a little bit of room to breathe, running those M0s and not feeling overwhelmed, not feeling like I have to do 8,000 things these first couple of weeks. I mean, I'm not speaking as a Race to World First player, of course. I'm sure they do have 8,000 things to do, but would you guys agree that it's been fun, just kind of relaxed and just enjoyable these past couple of weeks?
The beginning of an expansion is always my favorite time because people aren't in that like, oh, I gotta grind keys all day, I gotta get ready for raid, and just pounding that over and over and over again. They're just enjoying the game out in the world.
Yep.
Honestly, the way it feels like it was meant to be. Yeah,
I mean, that is kind of the thing. Like, we often are the what's the phrase? Like, we're the ones that get in their own ways, or we are the makers of our own demise, or whatever the phrase is, to where we do all of these things that, kind of wear us out or tear us down and whatnot because there are no obstacles or roadblocks in the way, because we want to get to the end game ASAP. But it's not like you have to. It's just that we want to. Like, I want to be ready. I want to do this. I want to do that. But it is nice to just stop and smell the roses and not feel overwhelmed,
Yeah, sometimes you hear people say they're optimizing their own fun out of the game.
Thank you for articulating that better. My goodness, yes.
Yeah,
because that's definitely the case.
You see that a lot with just pretty much everything in the game, like even like theory crafting a class or a spec, like trying to squeeze out an extra 0.1% of your rotation, but by doing that it makes it very unfun to play. Why are we trying to figure this stuff out? Like, you're not really helping anyone, especially because those changes are only on paper and not actually in practice. So like people are like, very like min-maxing when it comes to sims and stuff. I don't know, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, like people just play the game. Just play it and enjoy it. Like, that's all you got to do. And all that information will come in time.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You
for
already
me,
see people that are just like already having class requirements for M0s, and it's just like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
So dumb.
That's ridiculous. I know for me, like, I definitely am guilty of that. I used to be guilty of that to a much larger degree before I took my big break. Because I guess, you know, it's one of those things to where, you know, we all pay our $15 a month, blah, blah, blah. And for me, the min-maxing is the fun. And that's still very true. But it's just not as critical for me as it used to be. So, like, for instance, I have all of my professions across all. I have one of each class. All 13 characters have their professions, not maxed, but you know, I'm generating pots, flasks, gems, selling some of them, keeping some of them for progress. And I haven't felt the need to be on, like, I don't feel like I need to be on 24/7. I don't feel like I need to keep leveling characters if I don't want to. I don't feel like I need to be in the dungeon, you know, grinding out gear. And there's just this very relaxed state, which probably won't exist a couple of weeks from now when Mythic Plus launches. But as of right now, it's been fun, man. And I say that with a literal smile on my face because that's what I wanted. I can't and won't speak for anyone else, but knowing that I was getting back into WoW, you know, all those months ago, and knowing that midnight was imminent, all I wanted for these first couple of weeks was just the ability to log on and do what I want, when I want, how I want, and I've felt like I've been able to accomplish that.
I think one of the things as a streamer too, I'm wondering if you guys can agree with this, is it's nice because you have all these sort of like less important things to do, but it's also like all your audience has to do as well. So you guys are like still doing the same stuff, but it's less grindy, you know, like you can go and do world events and not feel like you're wasting time because your viewers are still like, hey, how does this work? But can I do this with you? Like it's still, there's that interaction and engagement by still doing like menial things rather than, you know, Mythic Plus or rating or whatever. Like everyone's kind of on the same level.
I know for me, and I'm kind of jumping ahead in the show a little bit, but just being able to go around and kill rares and actually having, and they hotfixed it to where it drops the Warband loot a week or so ago. Like I never would have done that until they made that change, you know? And it's just, it's so nice. Like you said, we can all just be logging in, whether we want to run a dungeon or go kill rares or level an alt or whatever. It's just, it's very relaxing from where I sit, at least. What about any hot takes these last 2 weeks? Anything that has kind of caught you by surprise or anything that may rub someone the wrong way with how Midnight has been for the past 2 weeks?
I honestly can't think of any because I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah, same. Have you guys done any housing? We have a couple people talking about housing in chat right now. Has there been any reason to focus on housing these last 2 weeks? Any games
I've done it
there?
A little bit just to like collect decor. I'm more of a collector than someone who's like actually getting into designing their house. Like I've made my kitchen. That's about it since it's come out.
Your kitchen.
Yeah, I got a kitchen in there, so it's like, like this is nice and cozy. But they announced that they were going to allow you to like import and export stuff from player housing, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because that's when I can just take other people's ideas and make them my own.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's exactly what I'm gonna do because I have visions in my head of what I want my house to look like, but I'm just not creative in that way to be able to put little pieces together and make things. So I am definitely just going to grab an import code and be like, hey, look how smart I am. Look what I made.
Yep.
And everyone will definitely believe me.
Well, it's like the meme. You made this? No, I made this.
What's funny is in Twitch chat leading up to the episode over this past week, we were just talking about all sorts of things, and I can't remember who came up with the idea. Maybe it was me. I genuinely can't remember. But how cool would it be if those of us who all play NA together, anytime we're on the podcast, we could be like in a house, in a podcast, like a little room in our house with a podcast station set up. Our characters hanging out. We could have makeshift mics, chairs, tables, little coffee mugs,
podcast
whatever,
studio.
man. Yes. I'm gonna make it happen. And when I say that, I'm gonna have somebody else make it and then import it like we were talking about, you know? Listen, that's copyrighted, trademarked, whatever the correct term is. Don't take it for anyone who's listening to this and does podcasts. Don't steal that, all right? This is a big deal.
I wonder if there's some like add-on that could be made where this is probably very involved, but it listens to our voices in Discord and then types it in our game, so we see the chat bubbles come up of what we're saying. That'd be sick.
Make it happen. Somebody needs to make it happen, man.
Yeah, some smart person.
Get on it.
What would you guys say that Blizzard has more or less nailed this whole preseason? I mean, we're talking about how happy we are and how much we're having fun. Is there anything that stands out that it's just like, not that good, or is everything pretty good for you guys right now?
Everything's pretty good.
What
Like,
about Prey,
I've really been
sir?
enjoying.
Huh?
I like it.
Huh?
Prey is great. It gives you like an overarching goal for the zone you're already in, right? So it's perfect. It already kind of stacks on top of what you'd be doing anyway.
We have OMV in chat. And by the way, if you ever see my gameplay in game, you can thank OMV for my amazing UI. Shout out to OMV. But OMV says, my hot take is that Prey defenders are giga coping. Oh, you can just click the traps. But is that fun? He asks. Is that fun?
I mean, I feel like something will probably be done about that, because now everyone just goes to the quest and clicks all the traps and calls it a day. But I feel like that's not really in the spirit of what Prey is, so it'll probably be fixed.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Nightmare Praise either, so we don't know what that's going to really be, right?
That's a fair point.
There could be more like stuff to do.
Yeah, I know for me here, I'll bring up the old. By the way, guys, don't forget you can answer these polls if you type in the command poll. But 41% of people who responded to the poll said meh to the question, how has the Prey system felt so far? So you know, about half the people, and then we have a small fraction that says I've barely interacted with it. So about half the people who respond, all 17 who respond to this poll, says it's either they couldn't care less or it's pretty meh. Listen, Rob, I'm sorry, man. I definitely fall into the category of meh. For me,
it's nothing crazy, but it's just an additional cool thing.
Right. That's the thing. It doesn't really like rob me of much time that I could be doing something else. But I also just don't find myself looking forward to it or wanting to do it. Yeah. It's just something I feel like, well, I should do this, for crests or whatever the case may be. Shadow Blue says Prey something they can iterate on. I hope they do. And I think you just said it a moment ago, Jedith, to where, Nightmare's not out yet. We'll see how. I don't know if, like, what's changing with Nightmare mode? Is it just hitting harder, has more HP, one more affix kind of a thing?
Is it only one more affix?
I think it's two. I'm trying to remember here. I think it's two affixes total, because we have one in hard mode, right?
Yeah.
This might be. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think I heard somebody say, this may be false, but there's more of the zone that is like part of the world quest type area thing for the Prey. It's like the entire zone rather than just the one area where the world quest is. Could be false. Not sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, Prey is one of those systems, and I didn't really test it on beta, admittedly. So, shame on me for not providing feedback, I suppose. But it's one of those systems to where it exists. I'm going to do it because I want to make sure I'm min-maxing to whatever degree. But again, I don't look forward to it. But I've always said, and I'm a big believer in, not everything has to be made for you. Not everything is made for you. There are people out there that I'm sure love the system. There are people out there that will use it to gear up their characters, and that's obviously totally fun, and that's awesome. So I'm definitely not going to sit here and say, oh, it's the worst thing ever, it shouldn't exist, because who cares, man? I've got Mythic Plus, I've got raiding. That's for me. I don't really interact with the PvP system. I don't sit here. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do say, well, PvP sucks. I don't want to do it. It shouldn't exist. But that's not where I'm trying to go with this conversation. But that's kind of how I feel about it.
One thing that I think people are going to be upset about this coming week is that the only way to get your catalyst charge is to do the PvP quest. You have to get like 1600.
What? What?
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's roll that back. Could you clarify that for me, please?
So there's three ways you can get it. You can get it from getting ahead of the curve, but you can't do that because that achievement is the final boss of March on Keldanas. So you can't complete that achievement yet. The other way is to get, I think, 2K in Mythic Plus, which maybe if you're a gamer on Mythic Week, you'll be able to do, but next week you won't be able to because Mythic Plus isn't out yet.
Right.
And then next week, The only thing you can do is get 1600 in PvP to get a catalyst charge.
So when you say
I think it's a catalyst charge, or
1600,
is it? Yeah, catalyst charge.
when you say 1600 in PvP, that's like rated battlegrounds, arenas. Is that right?
Mhm.
Is it any of those?
Yeah, I think so.
How hard is it to get to 1600? Serious question.
I've had
I
people
think
tell me that the solo shuffle thing, just grind it and you'll eventually get it.
Yeah, yeah, because you don't start losing score up until a certain point. So I think you get to like 1400 before you start losing, and then you just have to work up 200 points from there.
I see. So just to be clear, as of right now, this maybe Blizzard changes this, but as of right now, on Tuesday for the week of March, let me get to my dates here. March 17th through the 23rd in the WoW week. If you want to get your first catalyst charge, you're gonna have to PvP, is what you're telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Fun
Unless
times.
they disable that achievement next week.
Right. That's the thing. We don't know. Blizzard, because this week, when Tuesday landed, we didn't even have the quest to get another Radiance shard or whatever it's called, right? And they had to hotfix that in.
Mhm.
Yeah. So maybe they change it for people like me who don't want to PvP. But who knows? Who knows? Man,
we can only hope.
You just ruined my day, Jedith. Just ruined it.
Hey, you asked what they fumbled for the launch. That's the one thing that came up.
He's going to take away the crown.
Oh no!
Hey,
okay.
Hold on. Wait.
I'm gonna stop talking.
You never.
You know what else? If you do decide to go for that achievement and get 1600, you'll probably want a full set of PvP gear as well. So,
now
how do you get more PvP?
How do you get PvP gear?
You can get it crafted, or you can earn honor and buy it. I think, which means doing
horrible.
more PvP. Yeah,
man. This is all right. My weekend is ruined. We're cutting it off. Podcast is over.
GG's guys.
Gotta go cry in my corner. How many hours have you guys invested in the game over the past couple of weeks? Have you played like all day, every day, or have you kind of just been just going through the motions, just waiting until Mythic Plus comes out?
Most days of the week, I'm playing at least bare minimum 8 to 10 hours a day. But I also make sure on either Saturday or Sunday, I don't play it at all. I force myself to not play it.
You touch grass
because I would be going crazy.
Yeah. I think for me, the first like 5 days I was playing every day nonstop. But then, when you run out of things to do, you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to log on and do what?
I'm to level some
Fly
alts
around
or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't do that. I'm a one trick. So, don't get me wrong. I've still been playing a lot.
Yeah.
But I've definitely taken a few days here and there to just clear my brain.
Yeah, I know for me, I of course I'm logging on every day, either cycling through like crafting orders from the NPCs. What's that? Is that what they're called? Crafting orders, just to accumulate
patron orders.
Yeah, the patron orders, just to accumulate the knowledge, just to skill up my stuff and whatnot. I do that. Use my concentration as alchemist, as a jewel crafter, whatever, so that way I'm not capped on that. Leveling alts a little bit, but again, as I say this out loud, maybe it sounds like I'm bored. I'm not. Like, I'm genuinely having a really good time doing what I've been doing. And again, I like the fact that I don't feel like I have to be on 24/7 or I'm missing out. So I've been very happy with the pacing and whatnot. By the way, gentlemen, we've had two responses come in from the viewers. The first one says, hey, by the way, I don't have any questions. I wanted to say I love the podcast. It's peak content for listening to at work. So thank you to whomever submitted that. We're happy to be able to provide that to you. The second one, however, asks, is Brutall forming a cabal of content creators with fantastic hair? You guys do have fantastic hair. My God, man. Look at you.
I think you should get a wig. I think that would be peak content.
It's a bit. I have a Bob Ross Afro wig that I had for a Halloween costume. Yeah, and I have a wig that I think looks not exactly, but kind of sort of like my wife's hair, which is like long and wavy and whatnot. So I've got a couple of wigs. I could look like Rob's brother if I got that one.
What we should do is you get the wig, we'll get the bald caps, and we'll switch it up.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
That's a good Halloween episode right there.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad. I like that. That's not a bad idea at all. So you have leveled 0 alts, Jedith, and you've leveled 3 alts, correct, Rob? So 4 total.
Yep.
Dude, how amazing! And again, I guess I'm speaking more to the ethos here, the Twitch community, YouTube community. But how amazing is that 5% experience bonus? Where you get up to what 5, so 25% total. Dude, it's a game changer for me. It's a game changer. I've been leveling because again, I just hit my 6th 90 this morning, so I've been leveling, of course, with 25. I leveled with a 25% bonus on my Shadow Priest, and I've been leveling with War Mode. I haven't had any issue with War Mode, thankfully. And it's just, dude, it's just cruising through levels. It feels so good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use any leveling add-ons, Rob?
The only thing I had was Zygor, just to give me the arrow to tell me to go place to place. But that's about it.
So there is one called Azeroth Pilot Reloaded, which is really good. There's another one called Follow the Arrow, which is relatively new. It's by a speed leveler. I should probably pull it up here, but
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I'm using Follow the Arrow on my shaman, who is level like 82 right now. I just started them this morning after my Shadow Priest hit max level. And my two big complaints about Follow the Arrow is that the arrow isn't like 3D, so it'll point up when it means for you to go forward. So you got to get over that. It's really odd. But the reason why I'm testing this add-on is this gentleman who is a speed leveler. He leveled from 80 to 90 with War Mode on and the 25% bonus. I think he got it in under 3 hours, which is just crazy to me.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So of course I'm not going to be able to, because that's pedal to the metal, know what you're doing, know the route kind of a thing. But it'll be really nice. I'm testing out, and so far it's been lickety split getting the 82, which is nice. But yeah, for anyone out there who is looking for tips and tricks on leveling, there are leveling guides out there or leveling add-ons out there that are quite helpful if you want to get going.
Do you find that you're getting attacked with War Mode on?
I'm not. I did get ganked a couple of times on my Shadow Priest at level 80 or 81 or whatever it was in Eversong, but I think that is literally the only time I've had to deal with something in all of the characters I've leveled. So it hasn't been too bad. Yeah, I know they nerfed the experience bonus from 25 to 15, but that 15% experience, it's too good. I can't give it up. It's just,
yeah.
For me, I don't care about this. Maybe this sounds horrible. Sorry to anyone who this upsets. I don't care about the leveling experience. I don't stop and smell the roses. I don't read the quest tags. I'm not saying it's bad. That's just not where I like to spend my time. So for me, it's all about getting the max level quickly, efficiently. And
which is funny because you come from EverQuest, and that game was pretty much all leveling.
I know. It's just for those that don't know, in EQ, especially, I mean, maybe not so much nowadays, but in original EQ, it would literally, it's not an exaggeration, take you months to hit max level, and that was not only acceptable, it was encouraged. It was something that people enjoyed. And also, do you remember Hell? I know we're turning into an EverQuest podcast here a little bit, but do you remember Hell levels?
Oh yeah, they were like the break point to the thresholds on the level up process, and they take like double the time.
Yeah, I think it was 30, 35, etc. Every 5 levels, starting at 30. Like Jedith said, it would take a tremendous amount of it, much more experience, double or whatever it was, to go from 30 to 31, from 35 to 36, etc. And again, that's just like, okay, this is what we're doing, and it was fun. Oh my God.
Did that game have XP loss? Like if you died, you lose XP? Yeah.
Yes. Yep. You could have just hit level 50, level 60, max level, whatever generation you're talking about, whatever expansion you're talking about. And if you die the next pull, you're back to 49 or 59.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Leveling in that game, just to put it into context, was finding a group of people, finding a little camp of mobs that would spawn anywhere from 3 to 5 mobs, and you would just be sitting there killing those mobs over and over, waiting for them to respawn. Sometimes it would be like 2 to 5 minutes but in between respawns. And that's what leveling was. You just sat there for hours killing the same mobs.
Yep. The irony of it being
dungeon or anything.
Yeah, the irony of it being called EverQuest is, something that's spoken about often, because there were very few quests. There were no quest markers above NPCs' heads. You would have to walk up to them, press H on your keyboard to hail them. And then back in the day, it was just a block of text, and you would have to find specific keywords in the text. Nowadays, there's like brackets around in different colors, so you know what to say to NPCs. Yep. But back in the day, I mean, we're talking rudimentary stuff here. It was wild. But man, we couldn't get enough of it. It's all we knew. We didn't have anything else or better because it was the first.
Yeah. And it forced you to be social.
Yeah.
You had to group with people if you wanted to level, unless you were like a necromancer or a bard or whatever, that you could just quad kite things.
Quad kite?
Yeah.
OMV says, I wish I was a boomer so I could have enjoyed EverQuest.
Okay. All right, dude.
I'm not that old, I say as I talked about how old I was earlier. OMV also says, all right, you need to love, marry, kill, abundance, Stormarian assault, a soiree. I guess I would. I guess I would probably kill the assault. I hate how long that takes. Just the waiting around and just prepping and then waiting between waves. So I'd kill Stormarian.
That event to me seems like it's missing something.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I'm taking assault out back like Old Yeller.
I also think abundance has sort of panned out in a different way than they expected. Like, I don't think they expected people to get into raid groups and just get an insane amount of re-triggers of the events and stuff. Like, I don't think they thought about that.
Yeah. I love the voice lines from Abundance, though.
Oh my God. Yeah. Have you guys had Loa Dun Dun show up in your Twitch chat?
No, I saw that on Twitter, though.
Yeah, so there's somebody out there who has made a Twitch account called Loa Dun Dun, and they'll show at random, they'll show up in Twitch chat and they'll say, abundance be upon you, be blessed. And it's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
And they're just there RPing as Loa Dun Dun. It's phenomenal. It's ridiculous.
I love it.
God. It tickles me to no end when they show up. They've shown up multiple times on my stream. I don't know why, but it always brings a huge smile to my face. Holy cow.
It kind of reminds me of a turtle made it to the water back in BFA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turtle made it to the water. Oh, so total tangent here. I think somebody out there needs to correct me if I'm wrong. I think they've added new Tortollan. They're called Tortollans, right? New voice lines. There are some Tortollans in Zul'Aman, and I've never heard those specific voice lines or that specific voice actor. I don't have the character's name right now, so forgive me. But if anyone knows what I'm talking about, back me up, let me know if I'm wrong, etc., etc. I'm a stickler for doing stupid, silly voices all the time while I'm streaming. And over the years, I've anytime I interact with the original Brutosaur with the Tortollan on it, like, of course now I'm drawing a blank on the lines, like. But I'll always do the lines, but I've never, ever heard the what I think is the new ones in Zul'Aman. So somebody let me know if I'm right or wrong there in the comments below. I would love to know.
So that must mean we're getting them as an allied race, right? If they're working on new voice lines.
God, I hope
we can only hope.
Yeah.
You know, so listen, as much as I do love the idea of the Tortollans becoming allied races, what about Sethrak? Is there any love for Sethrak? Does anyone out there love the Sethrak like I do? I would kill to play as a Sethrak, man.
Kind of cool.
Can they wear pants?
Kind of cool.
So can they what?
Can they wear pants?
Yeah, they have legs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They would need a giant hole in the butt region for their tails.
Yeah.
But they have legs. Yeah, these are not shishars. Is that what they're called in EQ? From Shadows of Luckland?
Yeah. The shishars, yeah.
Shishar,
yeah. I guess
these guys have legs.
If Worgans can wear pants, then I guess they
That's
can
true.
Too.
Hey, Shaw, what's up, man? Shaw says, W snake people. Thank you, sir. I couldn't agree more. I think Shaw's going to come steal your crown away one of these upcoming weeks, by the way, Jedith.
That's what he thinks. That's what you think. you don't know. You don't even book this podcast. So what do you know?
This is the kind of PvP I really enjoy.
I want to circle back real quick to rares. We talked about this probably toward the or we did talk about this at the beginning of the show, but dude, I am loving how Midnight Rares it's dropping Warband gear. Now, Jedith, you probably don't appreciate this since Mr. One Trick Pony over here. But a week or so ago, when Blizzard hotfix rares at level, so if you're level 90 on a character and you kill a rare, it drops a Warband, binds to Warband until equipped or whatever it's called. The coolest thing, like my Shadow Priest hit 90 this morning, and I was instantly able to equip 6 220s that I just accumulated with, haste and mastery. I think those are the two stats that Shadow Priests want. And it felt so good. So anytime I'm flying around doing stuff, I'm just looking for rares. It's amazing. And I'll have you know, half of the people who responded to the poll agree with me, saying it's an amazing system. The other half says they don't care. So, it's a pretty even
all the
split.
One Tricks.
It's a pretty even split.
Those are my people.
But man, I am just so happy because once I hit the renown levels that we need for the champion gear, a couple weeks ago, I just didn't feel any need to kill the rares. I didn't feel any need to grind Renown. So now that it does something that positively affects my account, I don't know, I'm just happier for it, I suppose. But I don't know if you guys have any, you can continue that train of thought, but Renown, how cool is it? And maybe this has been the case in the War Within. I genuinely don't know. But I love the fact that Renown is not this big thing that you have to do for weeks on end, et cetera, et cetera. Do you guys have a perspective on that?
Yeah, like, as for years I've felt this way. Like, I never really try to grind them. I just play the game and you get it anyway. Like, you'll eventually just get it anyway. Like, if you're playing, don't worry about it. You'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And by the time you get there, most of the rewards that they give are insignificant
Cosmetic.
anyways. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's go ahead.
I was just going to say, it was nice to get some of the gear from getting like Renown 8 or 9 from some of them this time around. It was a nice little boost.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was champion gear in like 4 slots.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was nice. But then past that, I haven't even looked at what they give, to be honest, but I'm assuming it's just little things.
Yeah, we have like, jewel crafting, enchanting, blah, 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 recipes or whatever you want to call them. So professional recipes. Yep. You have decor, of course. Toward the later tiers, it's, mounts and pets, that kind of stuff. But that player power is in that, 6 to 9 range or whatever it is. And I think that is the sweet spot, because you get there with your with your campaign quests and some side quests. Done. You don't ever have to think about it again unless you're specifically choosing to chase those mounts and whatnot. And again, a nice even split here. 44% of people say that they love that Renown is less important, and 44% of people say I don't care. So and then we have,
I think it's a fine line to walk, right? Like, you don't want it to be so insignificant and unimportant that then you're asking, like, why does it even exist?
Yeah.
But you also don't want to put too much power into it, because then it becomes a chore.
And we've seen that before, like you guys are
a
saying,
meta problem with the game in all aspects.
Yeah.
But
yeah. For me, once getting those champion pieces so early felt really good too. Now, didn't feel so good when I was in Mythic Plus and I just kept getting necklace after necklace.
Oh, yeah, I was getting cloaks.
Oh my god, man! I got very, very few pieces of usable loot out of my Mythic Zeros these past 2 weeks, which I know ultimately, obviously, is not a big deal, but it still didn't feel good.
Yeah, because you only have a certain amount of drops.
Right.
You can only get so many drops in a world tour, and half of them are necks. It sucks.
Yeah.
When I was doing the M0s on my DK, I kept getting like helmets and belts. And it was just like, come on, man.
I didn't get a weapon. Did you guys get a weapon?
On my warrior, I did.
I got a weapon from.
So your main
hard prey.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a prey, dude. I've got like a dinky little 224. I haven't spent any crests at all in anything, because I'm just waiting until right before raid to max everything out. But
I have a little anecdote about weapons, though, real quick.
Please.
So on Devour, because Devour is an intellect spec rather than agility, like Havoc. So what you would, if you were smart, you would craft a Warglaive. The Warglaive would automatically switch between the 2 primary stats, so you can use it for whatever spec. But there was a weird interaction where you could craft an intellect sword on your Devourer, and because an intellect sword or an intellect axe out as a main hand, Devourer is the only spec in the game that can dual wield like intellect weapons. So you would be able, if you crafted an intellect sword, you'd be able to upgrade an offhand completely for free. So it was kind of a little hack to get an offhand leveled up at the same time, free of charge. So I, thinking I was super smart, went ahead and crafted a sword. I was able to do that. But then yesterday, Devour nerfs come in, Havoc gets buffed. Now I'm like, damn it, I should have crafted the glaive. Now I'm stuck with this stupid intellect sword. But yeah, I guess I've just committed to Devour, I guess.
Rick to Fearful. I'm butchering your name. I'm so sorry. Says Jedith telling us the weapon was guaranteed, upsetting us all.
Oh, the weapon from Prey, I think he's talking about.
Yeah.
I thought if you did your first hard Prey, you would get a weapon. I
Wow,
guess I just
that'd
got
be
lucky.
nice.
I high rolled.
No fair, man. It's ridiculous. Hey, do you guys know anything about the abundance nerf? I've heard nothing but abundance has been nerfed over the past couple of days. What happened? Does anyone know?
I think you just get less of that currency at the
What
end.
does that matter?
Instead of,
Like,
there's like profession stuff you can get and cosmetic
okay.
stuff you can get, but I think people are just mad that they have to grind it more.
gotcha.
Yeah, I think it went from 900 to 600.
That's not that bad, is it?
It's
It's less.
You know how it is. I'm
It's
getting
a-
less now, so I'm mad and I'm going to the
Yeah.
forums.
Yeah.
it's a 1/3 of a nerf.
A third. Yeah. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Third of a
Yeah.
nerf.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys you guys both played beta, correct? Alpha and or beta.
I played a little bit, yeah.
Little bit. All right.
A little bit. I don't want to ruin too
So-
much of the experience.
That that's a fair point. I just did a ton of Mythic
Yeah.
Plus, but then I stopped like a month before the expansion came out because, like you said, I didn't want to burn myself out and whatnot. But what are your thoughts on the game's been live for a couple weeks now. What are your thoughts on Apex talents? Specifically, you playing Devourer, you playing Warrior. Do you play both Fury and Arms, Rob?
Very little arms.
Okay, so
I'm
mostly
a
Fury.
Fury Zug guy.
How are your Apex talents feeling? Do you guys care? Is it something you even think about?
I don't care that much. To me, it's just more talents.
Yeah.
Like you can spice it up however you want. It's just more talents to me.
I think they are kind of dumb. They feel like it was just sort of a feature tacked on because they needed to come up with something for the expansion. It's like, hey, we want to give them more talents, but we can't just do that. It needs to be this like new exciting feature. So let's call them Apex talents. But also, you don't have to take them. You can just spend those points in your spec tree.
That'd be insane, right?
There's some specs that do it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my
Because
god!
I mean,
Yeah.
why give us that option to do it in the first place, And then for Devour, it was really weird because the spec didn't really function without Apex talents. So pre-patch was an absolute mess.
Yep.
Because we didn't have the Apex talents. So like we wouldn't be pressing Collapsing Star, which is like our big spender that everyone was excited to press. We just weren't using it in pre-patch. And even still, there's a build where you don't take your Apex talents and you just don't press that button. So I think like having it open to distribute those points in theory, I guess, is cool because you can either put them in the Apex talents or spend them in your spec tree. But realistically, I think they should have restricted it and just said, hey, these are 4 new talent points that you can get. That's where your points go. I think it just would have made everything a little easier in terms of like understanding. But it's weird now. I'm not a fan.
agree.
I feel like it's half baked.
Yeah, I know. For me, like I've been very unapologetic in my opinions on the talent tree as a whole. Not everyone feels this way, so I'm not trying to lead any witnesses here. I'm not a huge fan of the talent trees at this point in time, just because it's so messy and convoluted in my eyes. And to hear that some classes and specializations don't even take their Apex talents, that's so odd to me. Like it's supposed to be one of the the cornerstones of the expansion, these Apex talents. Apex,
Yeah.
the term Apex, and some people are like,
Not
I'd
so
rather
Apex.
not.
But, like the spec trees of a class, they're designed and laid out in a way where with these regular amount of talent points you have to spend in that tree, you're left to make certain choices where if you want something, you have to sacrifice maybe something else. The power is distributed evenly in that way in the spec tree, where you have to make those decisions. But suddenly, once you have 4 more points to spend with the same amount of nodes on the tree, you can do some pretty crazy things and get a lot of power out of it. So I think that's why it is better for some specs to do that. That power that you can get from doing that is comparable to the power that you get from putting it into the Apex talents.
Right. I mean, so as I was writing the notes, and I want to make sure that I want to continue this train of thought with what you're saying, Jeff, because as I was writing the notes for the episode over the past couple of days, like, do you think it's important for Blizzard to always have something new in terms of player power for players to focus on? Are your artifact weapons, your Azerite armor, your Heart of Azeroth, your Covenants, et cetera, corrupted gear was at the end of BFA, right? Like those aren't all created equally, and they're not all the first thing you get at the beginning of an expansion, but every patch we're getting something, Rishi wraps, whatever, right? So I understand the reasoning. Like, you want players to have something to work on, something to be excited about, etc. But is it necessary? Like, do we really need Apex talents? Do we really need these new things? Do you think that really is a selling point or a hook that is required or good?
I definitely think that they need to have some sort of hook, or maybe not like players who are locked in and know everything about the game, but just maybe someone who hasn't played in a while, like, ooh, this new shiny, right? Let me go check it out.
Sure.
Yep.
Or just like the casual player who, plays for a little bit, then dips out. Like, just, I think it's very important to always have some sort of hook. It can't just be, here's more of the same that you had X amount of years ago. Enjoy.
Listen, hold on.
Like,
I'm going to stop you right there,
shiny.
okay? From original EverQuest all the way through the Scars of Velius, all we had was geared, all right? No talents, no systems.
I think the problem with WoW now is the precedence has been set that you're always supposed to expect something new.
That's a good point.
That's the problem. You can't go back now, because as soon as you go back, it's like, okay, they're cutting content, they're putting in less effort.
Yeah, Shadow Blues from Twitch chat says variety is good. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think variety is good. I guess it just depends on, how good is the variety kind of a thing. I know a lot of people complained about Azerite armor back in the day, and for good reason. It sucked early on. I think most people, and I know I'm going back 10 years at this point in time, but artifact weapons is a big one for me. I loved artifact weapons. I know a lot of people loved them as a whole, didn't like the artifact power grind, which I get. I'm sure there are 1,000 other examples we could conjure up. Yeah, I think I mostly agree with you, Rob, in that you definitely want to have that hook, and it's something that players, I assume, keyword assume, generally look forward to. I just think that Apex talents are very... Was it you, Jedith, that said it feels like they were kind of just tacked on?
Yep.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with, and I'm not saying that is true, but that's how it feels to me as a player. I don't know. Oh, I think I had a
I think also, like, for a certain subsect of players, variety is fake. You always end up picking what's best, or what you're told is best, or what like the public perception is. And the biggest example of that is the way that the new talent trees are set up. That came in Dragonflight, I believe it was. There's so many options on that tree, but there's also so many talents that you just never take. You never put a point into them, and it's fake variety. It's the illusion of choice.
Yeah,
that's how I felt about the talent tree. It's like, we're just gonna pick what the experts tell us to pick. We're not gonna like dig and be like, let's see what choices can I make. You're just gonna tell me what to pick.
That's I mean, not to beat a dead horse here, but that's what a lot of us, myself included, have been saying for years now. It's like, listen, I definitely don't think I'm smarter than the people who have simulated all of it and tested all of it. And you look at something like Archon, who they gathered data to see what is objectively the best set of talents for a Mythic Plus or a Raid or whatever. Then you have Warcraft logs, of course. You can go in and individually see what people are using, and the list goes on and on. So it's like, why would I ever? And this is not, I mean, this is rhetorical, but maybe it doesn't have to be. Like, why would I ever experiment with talents when there is data, there is fact, there is objectivity in front of me here, letting me know there's no reason to, and that's what rubs me the wrong way about the talent system. And you hit the nail on the head. It is the illusion of choice, and not everyone plays the game that way. There are some people who probably install the game, they start playing, and they do fiddle with their talents, but they're playing a completely different game than, say, the three of us are, and that's fine. I'm not saying to be clear, I'm not saying that we should all be playing Mythic Plus, Mythic Rating. Wow, that's not what I'm trying to communicate. It's just, there's just no reason to mess with the talents for those of us who cared about performance, I suppose.
I think those people who are playing that other type of game also, it could get choice paralysis, or they might get overwhelmed by how many things are on there for them to pick from. And it even goes back to, like you said, like Azerite gear. Even then, you were picking the 1 or 3 Azerite traits that you were told to pick, and there was no experimentation.
Yep.
So
There's just no
yeah,
there's
I
no
don't know.
reason. There's just no reason for it. Yeah.
I'd be happy to go back to the old talent trees.
Yeah. And when you say old, you mean mop, to be clear, right?
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
what 4 rows, 5 rows,
Yeah. Think
I
about
wouldn't
the
10
mind.
time.
choices each.
Yeah. I think
Like
it was,
I'm
I think it
good
was-
either way.
So
Yeah.
I prefer the mob talents as well, personally. I know not everyone agrees. I understand. But for me, the mob talent choices is the superior system. Maybe there's a happy medium. I don't know. I'm not a game designer, so I never want to sit here and say that I'm right. It's not a matter of being right, I suppose, but it's definitely a matter of I think that would be a good choice. I think we should
Well,
go
I
back
think-
to the mob talents.
Going back to that talent tree gives us back a lot of stuff like innately built into our character, like baseline.
Mhm.
So you have to think of all the different nodes on the current talent trees. All of that stuff is stuff that we had baseline before. Then they took it out and put it into nodes on the tree for you to pick along the way.
Yeah.
But if we were to go back to the old talent trees where we had maybe 4 choices to give us 4 different things, like where's all that other stuff going? It would just be built into our character. All those defensives, all the, extra whatever, like your main builder does 5% more damage. Like
Mhm.
that doesn't need to be in the tree.
Yeah.
So I think it would just be if they are trying to make the game more approachable and cut down on like button bloat or whatever, like if that's the path they're going down, I think they should definitely take a look at the talent trees too.
I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat's saying a couple things there. I'm sorry. Did I just cut somebody off? Was that you, Rob?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, I apologize. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't cutting anyone off. So Zathras, let me know if I'm mispronouncing your name, Zathras. Zathras says talents primarily exist for the leveling process, so you feel like you're getting something new at each level. That's true. Blizzard has said that multiple times, and I understand the philosophy behind that, but it's always weird to me whenever, like, why are we designing an end game system, a system that we interact with at in game, for something so like a flash in the pan, like leveling in the context of WoW, in the context of an MMO, for most of us, it's here today, gone tomorrow. It's so fast. You're just done in no time compared to as the time you spend at max level. And it's just, I get it. That is what Blizzard has said, but it's just a weird approach, in my opinion.
Maybe they need to do another level squish so they have less room to fill,
I mean,
cut it back to level 60.
I've been hearing the argument, and I would love to know people's opinions on this. Like, at this point, WoW is 21 years old. Why do we even have I'm sure that there are reasons, but why do we even have levels at this point in time? Like, why even have a level associated with our characters? I know that, it's just the way that it has been, and people like progressing, and people like seeing, max level and stuff like that, but it's one of those things to where I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I'm not smart enough to say whether or not what all the drawbacks to that, but I don't want to level anymore. I just want to be done with it.
I think this is the problem, like you said, like people are playing different games than us.
Yeah, totally.
And
Yeah.
I think that's one of Blizzard's biggest problems is they're trying to cater to too many different types of players all at once. But I think leveling and progression of your character is always going to be there. Like, look at a game like Fellowship. Even though there are no like inherent character levels, you're still progressing through your tree and unlocking new skills and talents or whatever. So I don't know how you get around that.
Yeah,
I feel like it's just so baked into the MMO formula at this point. Like, I feel like a lot of people would be confused, and like there are people who want leveling, even in retail WoW, where it's very quick and easy, but they still want it because that's what they're used to, or they just really enjoy it.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, of course. I mean, different strokes and all that. Twitch chat right now is popping off saying, let's just not do leveling anymore, just put progress behind the storyline quest. I've heard that. That's definitely a fair take. Then CERN here says, I have to talent into misdirect or interrupt and stuff. That drives me nuts as well. Oh my god, I hate that so much. Scarrin says we should have capped at a level and only progress story and player skill after that. So kind of similar to what Drosh was saying. Yeah. So this is a great example. Like, we may have a little bit of an echo chamber here, obviously, because most of us probably play at the relatively high end. But like you said, I think you said it a moment ago, Rob, there are people out there that love leveling. That is the game to them. They make a character, they take their time, they enjoy the leveling process, And maybe they hit max level, maybe they don't. And then they make a new character and they go through it again. Maybe a different zone, different class, different approach, different whatever. And that's the game to them. And so it's like, you don't want to rob people like that of their experience. And for all we know, maybe those players outnumber us 10-1. I don't have that data, obviously.
I think they do. Yeah. I think they do. I think we're the minority.
Yeah, exactly. And, so
like people are speed running it. We just had an add-on made by a speedrunner that you were talking about earlier. Yeah. So I mean, they're out there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like obviously there's no solution to this or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, thanks for humoring me, everyone. Appreciate it. Good talk. Do you guys care about are you like profession auction house people? Do you ever try to generate gold through the auction house or anything like that?
Not really. Like I dabble, but yeah, I'm no expert.
Yeah, I feel like if you really want to make money, you have to like get on it early, and you have to invest a lot of gold into it.
Oh yeah,
and you kind of have to. You have to have some knowledge and know like exactly what you need to be focusing on, what you shouldn't be. Because for me personally, by the time I get to the point where I can actually craft something with ease, the market's already crashed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this up because I had mentioned earlier I have all 13 of my characters with their professions. They're all look. Let me make sure I'm being extremely clear. I am not a gold generator guy. I don't play the auction house. I don't know how to. All I do is I choose a couple of professions. In this case, it's jewel crafting and alchemy, and I use my concentration to craft max level whatever, and then I generally either keep it for progression purposes or sell it for a mild profit. Emphasis keyword mild. But one thing I noticed is over these last 2 weeks, again, I'm not a market guy, a WoW market guy, but to me the market crashed hard these 2 weeks. I cannot believe how affordable and how inexpensive everything is. I don't know if anyone out there has any perspective on that whatsoever, but go ahead.
There's two reasons why that happened. The first one was they added petrified roots to patron orders. So that crashed the price of petrified roots. Those were like the main thing that had any value. So they crashed that. And then when they added the Warband gear to rares and made rares spawn more quickly, that crashed the enchanting market because everyone was getting so many materials. So now even like max level weapon enchants are pretty affordable because of that. Yeah. Like those two things kind of just ruined everything.
And again, we've literally in the past few minutes we've talked about how some people focus on end game, raids and Mythic Plus. Some people just prefer to level, and then there are people who literally play the game and all they do is just play the market. They generate gold, and that's their end game. So I don't know if anyone in the chat right now kind of dabbles in that aspect of the game, but it's something that, again, as somebody who's fairly ignorant of the whole system and whatnot, I noticed it pretty quickly about a week ago, because that first week, and this is typical, first week prices are sky high, but man, then it was like literally a fraction of what it was week 2. It was wild. The poll here asks, how has the economy felt so far this expansion? And about 45 people said prices drop, but that's fine. That's where I said too. I like the fact that things are more affordable because I don't want to go broke.
Same. Yeah.
And then 40% of people said, I don't really pay attention to the auction house. Same. I don't really pay attention, but when I do in this case, it was crazy, man.
You seem to have a lot of people that don't have opinions and don't monitor anything.
Like, I don't care, I'm playing, whatever.
Yeah.
Very unopinionated indeed. Yeah. Baller says petrified roots are expensive now, like compared to a few days ago. Baller, what do you mean exactly? Because as somebody who buys them regularly to craft, I think they were like 4 or 5K, then they became 1K, and I think last night they were around 2K for whatever reason.
Yeah, and the first week of the expansion they were like 15, 20K.
They were nuts. Yeah. But I mean, a couple people that are talking in Twitch chat right now are saying that alchemy, are probably going to spike in price over the next couple of days when raids unlock. But that's something that I'm curious about, is what the heck will happen to the market and all of these prices on Tuesday and beyond. I'm not going to sit here and try to predict because I have no idea. But like, are things going to double in price? Have people been hoarding, their gems and their enchants and their flasks and potions just to flood the market on Tuesday to try to make a profit? I haven't a clue. But
potentially,
I'm curious what's going to happen.
I find with alchemy, the only way to be profitable is to really bank on multicraft.
Yeah.
So if you're
Yeah.
if you're crafting potions and you get like big multicraft procs,
Hey.
you're getting free money at that point. But
I was on my rogue a couple of days ago. I got 2 multi-crafts in a row. Procced a 15 and a 19, baby. I was riding that high the rest of the day. It was amazing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Baller says a few days ago they were around a K, and now they're around 2.5K. Yeah. I wonder because you're right, Jedith. Like as I'm crafting these patron orders and opening the bags, I'm getting 3 roots here, 4 roots there. So why would they go up in price again? I don't know. Again, that's just not.
I mean, that increase is very small. Like that could have just been somebody resetting the market. They bought them all out and raised them by 1.5K.
I don't know. Let's talk about world events for a moment here, because I like to peruse the WoW subreddit and the competitive WoW subreddit and whatnot. And someone made a post 22 hours ago, Mr. Hiccuped, and the title is "Midnight's World Events Aren't Very Fun." And Mr. Hiccuped here says the soiree, do dailies, fly around, get arcane, blah blah blah, just AFK. Abundance, I kind of like this one only if you're in a raid group. If you solo, it sucks. Legends of the Harneer, this is just a quest chain. And the big one, and we talked about this a few minutes ago, is the Stormarian Assault. This thing just sucks. 5 minutes to set up defenses, 3 sets of 3-minute waves, a minute in between, makes it take forever, etc., etc. Again, as somebody who only interacts with these systems for a short time at the beginning of an expansion, the only one that's really rubbing me the wrong way is the Assault. But what do you guys think?
I feel the same way about the Assault. It also, like, it lags the zone every time it goes off. It's like you can tell every single time the Assault's happening. It's like, okay, I'm lagging. It must be going on. But
the best part is when you get the Assault and the Abundance event in the same zone.
Oh my god,
it's unplayable.
Can't do anything. Can't do anything.
But yeah, even during the Assault, like it feels like the turrets that you place down, or any of the things you can place down, don't feel particularly meaningful. Like you're just gonna go running around killing the stuff anyway, and the turrets are just kind of there, not really impacting it at all. At least it doesn't feel that way to me.
What springs to my mind, reading this subreddit thread and just thinking back, I didn't play a ton of Dragonflight. I did not play a ton of the War Within. But the cooking crafting thing in that one Dragonflight zone, what was that called? The chef. Yes, chef, that thing.
Yes, chef.
Yep. I personally, again, not to lead the witness here, I liked that one because it was fun and just kind of not spontaneous in a like, well, you know what I mean. Anyway, but that was a fun event in my eyes. So why do some of them resonate with players and others don't? I don't know, because the soiree is very much just pick up a bunch of quests and go do them. It's just like a bunch of world quests. So that's what it feels like. And you have like your little
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, but then you have your yes chef thing from a few years back, and it brings a smile to my face just thinking about it. It was just so much fun.
What I was gonna say was it's the meme factor. It's just funny. Yeah. So people liked it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like laggy or a pain in the butt to do it.
Yeah,
it always helps.
Yeah, there's some novelty to it too. I think it was probably the first event that we had like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they started doing that type of stuff. Is in Dragonflight. Yeah, all the events now are very combat based. In Midnight, Stormarian Assault, you're fighting things. Abundance, you're fighting things. Legend of the Harneer, I don't even know. I did that once. I have no idea what you do. What's the other one? What am I missing?
The soiree.
Abundance.
Soiree. You're doing quests, killing things. Like it's no different than what we've been doing during the campaign. Like I don't know.
Basically, I guess it maybe might lack a little bit of creativity.
Yeah, that's just a fair point.
Make them interesting.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's something to be said about, okay, we're finally out of Shadowlands. Thank goodness. We're entering into Dragonflight. Even if it's not the greatest expansion ever, it's not Shadowlands. And now we have this new event system. Yeah, I think maybe that definitely had something to do with it too, because now we're 3 expansions into these events, these weekly events. And they're not very engaging. They're not revolutionary in what they're having us do every week right now. And not that it's hard. It's just, like I said, there's no meme factor. 3 expansions in, been there, done that. I don't know.
Well, Abundance has the meme factor a bit with the abundant kind
That's a
guy.
fair take. That's a fair take.
Yeah.
Loa
Yeah.
dun dun. That's a fair take.
Maybe we'll get some better world events in like the next patches, because they've done that before, right? We got a world event in Zerlek Caverns.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think that one was any better. It was still just combat based. You went and killed things and you were done with it. But
Yeah.
there's the opportunity for us to get more world events in the coming patches for sure.
What'd you guys think about that class tuning from the other day, huh? Anything exciting on your end?
I always enjoy class tuning
Anyone-
patches, posts when you get to see everyone's reaction to it. That's my
Anyone-
favorite part.
Anyone out there play a little unholy DK?
Yeah.
Was that 20% nerf or something?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah, poor
Oof.
unholy.
Oof.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see Devourer here. All damage dealt reduced. They misspelled reduced. Reduced by 4%. How's that feel?
Feels like 4%.
Not
I mean,
good.
they I'm glad they had that approach with it. They could have changed like behavioral things, fundamental, like the way the spec works, but they didn't, which I think is good. There's things that they could improve, like bug fixes and stuff that they could have done, but I'm just glad they didn't really nerf any specific abilities or anything. Just give us a
Yeah.
flat damage nerf.
Let me scroll down the warriors here real quick. Hold on. Always at the bottom here. Piercing Howl's cooldown increased. Uh-oh. What are you doing,
It's
Rob?
okay.
What are you doing,
It'll
Rob?
be fine. It's okay.
Okay, so Fury here. You said you're more of a Fury guy. All damage dealt
Yeah.
increased by 10%. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll take
It's
that.
exciting.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We
a big
needed
buff.
it.
So
We
Arms
needed
has
it.
been, even though you don't play a ton of Arms, Arms has been pretty trash over the past month or whatever,
dude.
right?
It's been so bad.
I mean, do you think a
Like
15%?
laughably bad.
Do you think a 15% damage bonus is enough? Like, does it matter?
Nope.
No.
I don't think that's changing anyone's mind.
So Fury's the way to go for the time being, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and Slayer Fury got nerfed a little bit too, so that's just like, in my opinion, locking in Mountain Thane for Mythic Plus. Like,
See,
because
so-
it was kind of like, maybe I'll play Slayer for some better single target, better funnel, whatever. Like, nope, Thane.
How are your, like, Devourer is new. So let me start with
Yeah.
you, Jedith. How is Devourer playing? Or like, buffs and stuff, buffs and nerfs aside, tuning aside, how is the actual specialization playing right now?
Depends who you ask.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
There's a lot of people coming from Havoc who are expecting it to be the same type of thing, but with
Mhm.
spells. But it's not. Like, you're going from playing a melee to a caster. So you have to approach things differently, right? You can't stand there and let things wail on you. You have to do a little bit of kiting. Your survivability is different. Like, you have to think of yourself as a mage or a shadow priest or whatever. And I think a lot of people are just so used to the god mode that Havoc has been that they're having some trouble with it.
And it's mid range too, right?
Yeah, 25 yards.
Gotcha.
So-
Okay.
So I've had to make a couple videos being like, no, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong. Like, I have a video called "Devour is not squishy," because that's all I've been hearing is like, my Devourer feels squishy and weak, and I don't do any damage. It's like, okay, well, first of all, like I said, are you playing it properly? Are you letting mobs hit you, or are you pressing your defensive buttons? Are you keeping range? And then secondly, for your damage, like, are you doing your rotation properly? Because that's very important to get out the damage that you're supposed to get out. Like, you have certain abilities that give you buffs that make your damage more, like get into meta that essentially doubles your damage as soon as you get into meta. There's all these different things that I think a lot of players are having trouble grasping to start. So there's been a lot of misinformation going around. But on the other hand, you ask other people like me, and there's a lot of other players who feel this way. It feels great. It feels very smooth to play, and it's very simple at a fundamental level, but there's a lot of room to sort of optimize it and min-max it. And I think you're going to see a big difference between like just an okay Devourer player and a really good one. There's a lot of like optimizing your resources and stuff. So I'm curious to see where it lands in like a couple patches and how it's going to evolve. It's always like interesting to me to think, especially with a brand new spec and thinking about like what the tier bonuses are going to be and how that's going to change how you play it. And I just hope it doesn't go down the path of an AUG evoker, because they were so good to start and they were
That's
like
what I was-
the new shiny thing. And then
I was going to bring it up. Yeah.
give it a few patches and they're just
Flying too
I don't
close
even know
to the
what
sun.
they. Yeah. What
They're
are they
too
now?
good.
I don't even know.
I mean, does your 2-piece or 4-piece change much for you as a devourer?
This one, no. It's just what does it do? It's increases collapsing star damage by 10%. And the other one is a void ray damage. So,
Gotcha.
No, they're just flat damage increases.
If someone was on the fence about playing Devourer, what would you say right now to convince them to give it a chance?
Try it before you listen to what people are saying. Yeah, just do it. Like, stop listening to what the community is saying about it. Try it. Go to my YouTube channel, watch some videos. Make sure you subscribe. And yeah, I think you'll have fun. Just go into it with the right expectations.
Yeah. Don't face tank everything, right?
Yep.
All right, Rob, Fury Warriors. How are things feeling?
Honestly, it just feels like more of the same. There's not too many like big fundamental changes. If you liked Fury Warrior before, you're still gonna like it now. There's with the Apex talent, you're incentivized to just get those rampages off because you get a stacking strength buff that lasts for a short period of time. So the more you can do it, the more strength you'll get. But it's still just more of the same with some extra bonuses thrown in here and there. They didn't really change the formula that much.
So feels good. Does a little bit more damage now. If you liked it before, you'll still like it.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
Fair. So I kind of on topic. When I first started playing WoW way back in the day, I started off as a warrior prot, and I was always prot. I've never been able to get into Arms and Fury. I don't know why. It's just never been for me. If somebody
prot's sometimes fun.
What do you mean sometimes?
Sometimes fun.
Excuse me.
It's outrageous.
All right. Let's start. Fine. Let's talk about survival a little bit. If someone wanted to play survival, convince them. Go. Oh, what's that? Oh, sorry, you're muted. I can't hear you, Rob. Oh, sorry. But I had to. I'm sorry. Stinking survival, man. Well, I'm glad to hear that you guys are having fun with your classes. I know I play BM and MM. I don't touch survival, but BM's BM. I mean, it's what more is there to say? It has pets and does damage. Soren says that was a dirty move, Brutal.
That was a good move.
MM is it's looking like it's going to be a little bit stronger than BM as of the buffs that came out. I've had this up on the screen for the past few minutes. Sorry, but yeah, BM did get a barb shot damage increase, a cobra shot damage increase. I will say I don't know about every class out there and every DPS spec, but for hunters, I think it's Sentinel Survival is simming the best when it comes to strictly single target by a fraction. Right behind it is Marksmanship. I think Sentinel as well. And then right behind that is BM Pack Leader single target, I believe. Somebody can fact check me on this. Azertharian just released a really good Hunter video, by the way. I'll link that in the description below. Go watch Azertharian's Hunter video. My point being, everything is simming very similar to each other in terms of single target. Now, once you get beyond single target, things change dramatically, of course. But I love seeing things so close in that regard. I love seeing things balanced to that degree because it really does. Like if MM and BM, for example, is all of 1,000-ish DPS apart, is that gonna matter for 99.9% of players? No, of course not. Like, most of us can then pick and choose which of the two that they want to play. They're arguably similar. The similar thing could be said for Arms versus Fury. If that were the case, I have no idea where they sim. But my point being, if they were within 1,000 DPS of one another, play whatever one you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Devourer is its own thing, so good luck, Godspeed. But I love seeing things. Yeah, exactly. I love seeing things that are that close in terms of. Again, we're talking simulated damage in all fairness, but I personally prefer that. I think it's so cool. Have you guys looked at Sims at all for the upcoming raid for you guys?
I have not.
Too much.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You don't raid at them. I apologize.
Yeah.
Forgive me. Jedith, did you say too much?
Yeah, too many Sims, too many. I just get lost in that stuff.
Are things looking good for you right now?
The problem with Devour Sims is that the APL is brand new, right? So it's being put together as we learn things and as changes are happening. So every week we're finding something that was implemented maybe incorrectly, or there's like, something that's just not working in the Sims as it should be. So we're finding that, our Sim is going up 20%, we fix something, and then it goes down another 10% because we fix something else. So it's in flux all the time. And then it just got nerfed by 4%, and then Havoc got buffed. So now we're looking into both of those specs even further and fixing other things. And the problem too is that Havoc and Devour both have hero talents that are just completely bugged and don't work at all.
Really?
So we have to consider, okay, do we include that in the Sim? Do we include them not working, or do we put them in the Sim as if they do work and expect them to be fixed?
Yeah, that's tough.
It's such a hard spot to be in. Yeah.
Look at this guy over here with his broken talents. Look at this guy over here, Rob. Broken talents, huh?
Unbelievable.
I agree. It's unbelievable.
Does anyone out there play Shadow Priest, by the way? What? Can we talk about Psychic Link for just a brief moment? Does anyone... Surely someone out there play... Color Toad, you play Shadow Priest. So Psychic Link has been around for however long it's been around. And there was the Shadow Priest, I think one of the mods in the Shadow Priest Discord made this little... I should probably find it instead of just talking about it.
Is it just like the circle?
No, it's not. It's not a. Oh, I know the circle we were talking about, but no, he made this little graph saying, okay, Psychic Link started here, then it got nerfed, and then got buffed, then nerfed, and it was moderately powerful for a while, then it got buffed, and then nerfed again, and it's crazy, man. Poor Shadow Priest. I heard Moonkins got buffed by a big. Tettles was very happy the other day on Twitter. Moonkins got buffed. That's nice. Guardian Druids got
buffed.
What did?
Red buffed.
Red got buffed. Yep. And then Guardian Druid got nerfed. Poor Guardian Druids. They were doing a ton of damage, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh my god, man.
I know a couple Guardians. They are not happy.
But they're still doing good damage, right?
Yeah.
They're just not doing amazing damage.
They felt like they got hit pretty hard.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when you're god tier and now you're just, middle of the pack, it's definitely gonna hurt a little bit, yeah. Have you Rob, this is not for you, sir. All right, you can go AFK for a few minutes, but Larias's Raider guide, have you been keeping up with the guide at all? Jedith, do you know anything about it? Do you care about it?
Yeah. It's something that gets shared in my guild Discord every season. Sorry if you can hear my dogs barking.
Oh man, they sound upset. Is everything okay? Oh boy.
They bark at the wind all the time. It's fine.
I had a Chihuahua that passed recently, and she was very much the same. So don't worry.
Yeah. I have two dogs, and when one barks, the other one starts barking. She doesn't even know why she's barking. She's just following along.
Yep.
So yeah, the Larias guide, it gets shared in my guild Discord every season, and we try to follow it to a T.
Yeah.
I personally like doing that because I like having a little checklist of things to do.
Man. Me too. There's a nice little add-on as well for those that don't know that in the game you can just do a little check, just make sure you've done everything.
Yep. And please continue. You can sort of pick and choose what you want to follow to what degree. Like I think one of the things this week they said to save some veteran crests, which I did not do. I spent mine this week, but
don't spend any crests, Jeff.
Can't tell me what to do.
Man.
I've also had people yelling at me for crafting my weapon.
All right, save 160 crests. All right, come on, man.
Yeah. I don't care.
But yeah,
just veteran crests.
I agree though. I love having. Listen, I'm a spreadsheet guy. I'm a data driven guy. I love having checklists and that kind of stuff. So this speaks to me on a very personal level. It tickles my brain. I love it, and it's nice not having to gather the information myself. Having someone else do it for me is always nice as well.
Oh yeah, yep. It's good to feel like you're making the right choices too, because everything's always such a question. It's like, should I do this? Should I not do this? And sometimes it feels bad to not do something when you want to do it, but the guide is saying, hey, don't make this decision yet. Wait until next week or whatever. So sometimes it can feel bad, but to know you're doing it for the best and it's going to help you out the next week, it's a good thing.
It's nice, yeah. So there's a lot of notes. Again, I'm going to link. I'll link anything we're talking about. I'll try to link in the description below for those of you who stumbled upon this video. If you haven't checked out this guide, like Jedith is saying, it's really nice because it just outlines and details so many things for you if you care about that kind of stuff. It says here, Rob, that Fury Warriors can probably craft with sparks starting on Tuesday. Have you been holding on to your sparks, Rob?
Yep, I have all of them.
My man, all right.
Yep. I'm just waiting patiently.
All right. But it looks like there's a lot of optional optimization stuff coming this next week. So feel free to check this this little guide, this little Google Doc out if you care about this kind of stuff. Like Jedith said, none of this stuff is like super critical if you're not, you know, pushing mythic rating to the highest degree or mythic plus to the highest degree. But I like optimizing personally. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love when people make that kind of stuff. And I know that like Zorthis just released an enhancement shaman video. He's released a ton of stuff over the past couple of weeks. Tettles just released a fun little like history of Race to World First, but Tettles always has good stuff. Woo. These are all people that have been on the show, by the way. So these individuals know what they're talking about. They're very you know very dialed in and attuned to what's going on. But Tettles releases good stuff. Woo releases good stuff. Dratnos, of course. Tactics is a big one. Have you guys watched any of his videos recently?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that guy's on fire right now. Absolutely phenomenal. So make sure you go hunt those people down. You know, Jedith said he's releasing stuff for Devourer, of course. And Rob over here is just running Mythic Plus, right?
Yep. I'm just a streamer.
You don't do anything on YouTube?
I've dabbled. I've dabbled with YouTube Shorts, but I've never dabbled with long form content.
Yeah, it's for me. It's one of those things. I don't feel. I'm not a very creative person by nature, and it's always such a struggle for me, man.
Yeah.
I wish I had more of a brain for it.
What's not being covered where I could add value, and I'm just
Nothing. It's all
nothing.
covered.
So I'm just like, okay,
exactly. Let's talk about add-ons. This is kind of like the season 1 prep part of the show, by the way. I guess I should have clarified that. We've talked about Larias. We've talked about other content creators. What about add-ons for you guys? I have a couple listed here. Of course, Mythic Dungeon Tools is a big one, obviously. Now that's for Mythic Plus coming out in a week and a half. What other add-ons do you think people could look into, install, use, set up, etc. to make their season 1 prep and or their experience better?
I mean, if you're doing Mythic Plus, it's probably always a good idea, if you care about this, to get MDT. Like that's I always recommend getting MDT, even if you aren't a tank. Just like kind of being familiar with the route, always a good idea. And especially later on, like if you actually push, people like to link their route at the very beginning, and you need to be able to see that.
Yeah. Have you guys ever used pre-made groups filter?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I love that one. For anyone who doesn't know what pre-made groups filter is, you install it, and then when you're looking for groups in game, like Mythic Plus groups in game, you can see people's specializations instead of just their class. You can, you know, use, I don't know, there's keywords and a whole bunch of other ways to make your experience better in finding the right group for you. So I'm a big advocate for PGF. In terms of anyone out there who plays alts, there's Alter Ego, there's saved instances. Those are two big ones. I know saved instances. Alter Ego. Oh, me too, man. It looks it's so good. Saved instances is awesome because it'll actually show you pretty much all your weekly stuff across any character you play. So it's very easy to help keep track of that kind of stuff. I'm sure there are other add-ons that do it too, but those are the two that I use and the two that come to mind. This is a bit more of a niche thing, but Sentinel Hunter tools. God, man, you guys probably don't know what that is, do you?
I have no idea.
Oh my god! Oh, as a survival hunter, this might come into play for you. Actually, yeah, this will come into play for you as a survival hunter. So Sentinel Hunter tools. In fact, give me 1 second. I don't have this prepped. I'm gonna pull this one up because it's worth it. This add-on I discovered a month or two ago. Let me pull it up on Curse. 1 second.
I'm excited.
Sentinel. Oh, dude, I'm telling you. Sentinel Hunter tools is kind of a jack of all trades for warlocks and hunters, specifically any class. There are some small benefits for any class out there, but for hunters, there are pet reminders like, hey, your pet is missing, your pet is dead, your pet is not attacking, your pet is low health, your pet is incapacitated, your pet's on passive, that kind of stuff. And you can set up when you want those. So for example, if you're in the middle of Silvermoon City, you don't want that stuff triggering. So of course it'll never trigger in a city. Do you know what? So did you ever use this? You have misdirect as a survival hunter, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So there's something called Smart Misdirect. It's amazing. There used to be weak ore for it. Now I use this add-on. All I have to do is press my misdirect, and it knows who I should misdirect. If I'm soloing, it misdirects my pet with the press of no setting a focus, no having to fiddle with the macro. If I'm in a Mythic Plus, it'll automatically misdirect the tank. So there's no having, you never have to worry about it. It always misdirects the right target. Same thing if you're in a raid, etc. There are other things like buff reminders, utility reminders. If you play a warlock, so all of those pet reminders are true for warlocks as well. It also has a Hellstone reminder, Soulstone reminder, Gateway reminder. Hey, your Burning Rush is on. I'm telling you, this add-on is phenomenal for warlocks and hunters. Those are my two main DPS classes that I play, or hunter and warlock. So I have been swearing by this add-on for the past couple of months, and it's phenomenal. So highly recommend it. If anyone has never heard of it before, it's awesome. And nothing more to say. So that's all she wrote. I'll put it in the link. I'll put it in the description below.
Another add-on that I would suggest people at least look into is Now's Quality of Life add-on. It's basically an add-on that just has a bunch of things built into it. Like it has a combat timer, combat alerts, combat logger, GCD tracker. So if you're a streamer and you want to show what buttons you're pressing on screen, you could use it for that. It has a mouse ring, a crosshair, focus cast bar, buff monitoring, consumables tracker, stealth, stance detection, range checker, talent reminder. If you switch your talents between dungeons, you can set that up.
That's awesome.
What else does it have? FPS stability system. So you can like press a button and it optimizes your
that was
graphic settings.
That Quasi kind of started, right? And now we've seen other people do it. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things in there. So definitely worth looking into.
That reminds me, have you guys seen anything or fiddled with Ellesmere's UI over the past couple of weeks?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything with it.
I haven't personally tested it. I've heard really good things about it. I've also heard that it's incredibly low on the CPU usage. It uses very little of your CPU, very little overhead. This is kind of the blessing and the curse of losing weak ores, is we have all of this iteration, all of these people making new things and kind of expanding and exploring and iterating and whatnot. And I've always been an add-on fiend, so I love seeing stuff like this. Oh my god, it just tickles my brain. I love it. I
was waiting to check it out until it had like the profile capability, like importing and exporting profiles, but I think he added that now, so I might take another look.
Yeah, OMV, this is a great way to articulate it. Ellesmere UI, very performance optimized, not feature rich yet, but I'm telling you, that dude, every other day on Twitter, he has like a mile-long list of updates, improvements, additions to the add-on, etc., etc. So please keep an eye. I'll have him on the show sometime over the next couple of months, I'm sure, to talk about it and the season. But keep an eye on Ellesmere's UI. There's something else that popped up in chat, but yeah, just big fan of add-ons. So if anyone out there has any add-ons they want to recommend, leave it in the comments below. If you're watching this, recording on YouTube or whatnot. Any other ones that spring to mind for you guys?
If you're not using any type of nameplate add-on, you should probably get something, because the default ones are not quite sufficient. So you can get like Platinator or Plater. Yeah. To put it lightly, they suck. If you do end up using Ellesmere's UI, he does have a built-in nameplate thing there too.
Yeah.
If you're someone who has really messy bags like me, you can get Baginator and it will organize it for you.
Okay. Yep. Pop quiz. I guess this isn't a pop quiz. What's your favorite feature about Baginator? Is it the auto organize thing?
Yes, because my bags were absolutely atrocious. My chat tells me I have streamer bags all the time.
My favorite feature, and this is probably so off the radar for everyone else, is the auto open feature with my character screen. If I press my character panel hotkey, it opens my bags alongside of it, and I don't know why that matters to me, but it matters so much to me, man. But it auto opens, the bank, the mailbox, auction house, that kind of stuff too. But with the character panel, I don't know why. I love it. Baginator is goated. Baginator, baby. And that kind of ties into what we said a minute ago. That individual also makes Platinator, which is a really good nameplate profile add-on. There's also Plater, which is not by the same people, but I've been using Plater for years. I use Jundi's profile that's very Mythic Plus oriented. Big fan of Jundi's Plater profile. But he also makes a profile for Platinator. So it's all good, man, regardless of which one you want to use. Yeah, dude, Jundies is
Bladinator
I love
Jundies.
Jundies. Yes, dude, it's the best. I love it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Froby says Jundies player profile is goated. Agreed. Shout out to Jundies, whoever you are, wherever you are. What about Discord servers? Yeah, dude, it's awesome. What about Discord servers? I know there are specific Mythic Plus Discord servers out there that help people team up with other individuals that want to do Mythic Plus similar to how they want. Does that make sense? Running it similarly, like low key, relaxed versus I want to push. You guys know of any good Mythic Plus servers?
Warcraft
like
Made Easy.
There you go.
Yeah, they'll just go with you, and you can just do keys without anyone screaming at you for doing one little thing kind of wrong.
Like you, Rob.
Yeah,
jerk.
Me, #1 toxic streamer.
What do you normally push to, by the way? I'm not a 0.1%er. What is your...
I have kind of stopped pushing really high. Like, I don't do it anymore because I just don't get any fun out of it. Like, I'm just a 3K, move on to the next character. 3K, move on to the next character. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually wind up around, like in the context of last season, I stopped at 3.5K. I probably could have pushed a little bit higher, but I'm like, why? Like I was happy with 3.5K. I did this series back in Dragonflight when I was playing a little bit. I did a 13 to 3K series where I got all 13 classes of the 3K. That was a blast. There's something about that 3K spot that just is very satisfying to me. It's like, you know what you're doing for the most part. You're not pushing things to the absolute max, but you're still getting good gear. So I love that area, that sweet spot.
I really wish there was one more thing to achieve with some sort of like cosmetic reward that was between 3K and title. Just one more thing right there.
Yeah,
that'd be so nice.
Because I would definitely do that.
I've said that there should be like a specific Mythic Plus transmog set that you unlock, like as you go up. Like, you know, with the PvP sets, you get a certain score, you unlock the bracer and the belt, and then you go up a little higher and you get the head and shoulders or whatever.
I don't know that because I don't PvP, but I'm gonna take your word for it.
Trust me, that's how it works. They should have the same thing for Mythic Plus.
Yeah,
because then it gives you like multiple little goals to work towards, and you get halfway there. You want to finish it all the way. You want to get the full set, so that might encourage people to push higher.
Are there any?
I would do that.
I would absolutely, and that of course is very similar to how it used to be with what was it called back in Mop and Wad? Challenge mode. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
Good old challenge mode sets. Do you guys? Are there any websites? Of course, Raider.io has routes, but are there any good websites out there that have really good like routes? We're talking about MDT. But I'm talking about
Keystone
people being
Guru.
able to that's the one I was trying to think of. Thank you. Yes. Keystone Guru. Yeah, that's another one, good one. But if you guys, if any of you guys out there have any advice for season 1, you know, leave a comment below, put a link in the description, or not in the description, but in the comments below, that kind of stuff, and I'll do my best to recognize them and whatnot. We've already been chit-chatting for an hour and 40 minutes. You guys
doesn't feel like it.
I know, right?
I looked over a few minutes ago. I was like, "Whoa! I just time traveled."
You guys good to go a few minutes longer?
We
didn't really talk about so long time ago when the show first started. It was supposed to be a 90-minute show. Then within 3 episodes, it became a 2-hour show. And even though I didn't articulate this to you guys, I in my head I'm like, I want to try to keep it around 90 minutes. But it's just so much fun just to talk and just to goof off, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about 1205 real quick. Blizzard did announce 1205 this past week. I know for me, I think the thing I'm most excited about with 1205 is what the Decor Duels, I think is what they're calling it, their prop hunt system. Dude, I can't wait for that. But what stood out to you with 1205, if anything?
Let me see.
For me, it was surprising how much there was.
Yes, good point.
Just in terms of like all the world events that are coming and the new systems, like the catch-up gear stuff, and also the new ritual sites. Like that kind of caught me off guard because it is.
What are those?
Instanced. So the ritual sites.
Oh, I have it here.
Not the assaults, not the assaults, but the other things. The ritual sites. They're like instanced 1 to 5 players. I can't remember if we've ever had anything like that before. Like a little world event that's instanced.
Yeah, I don't know.
With a small group of players.
Refresh this. 20. Real quick, yeah, I'll put that up on the screen. We have a split here. So how did you feel about 1205? Most people said they're mostly positive. We have some people that are very excited, some people that have mixed feelings. Yeah, the ritual sites here. Yeah, a small 1 to 5 player instance. That's interesting.
Yeah, that could be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. And it made me feel like some of the stuff that's in this coming patch, they maybe wanted to have available for release, but they just couldn't meet the deadlines.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Yeah, I think you definitely hit the nail on the head. There's what is this? 5 big things: Void Assaults, Ritual Sites, Void Forge, Decor Duels, and Abyss Anglers are the 5 things here in the release article. That's a lot of stuff for a 0.5 patch or 0.5 patch, whatever you want to call it.
One thing I think is really cool is the Drakthir thing that they're doing, giving them that battle visage thing. Basically, yeah, because I am not a fan of the Drakthir form. I want to be that. I want to be in that as little as possible.
Yep.
And
it's so goofy looking.
Yeah, it's just not for me. I was like, okay, if I have to be in that form, at least give me full transmog of it, and I can't even do that. So it's like, okay, just make it not be a part of my character as much as possible, and they're doing that. So
Yeah,
I like that.
Is it that you'll still shift into it for things like Dragon Breath, like the ones that are particular to a dragon, but otherwise,
if it's something that requires your tail, the whatever that ability is, where you knock them away or whatever, or Dragon Breath, you have to be in dragon form for that, but you will instantly come out of it once it's over.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
I like that a lot better.
Yeah, me too. What about the bonus rolls? You guys excited for bonus rolls to come back? Huh?
It seems like they're done in a good way.
Yep. I've heard mixed things. I know Dratnos just released an 18, 28 minute video, something like that, on it, because they had talked about it on the Poddy C, and he was relatively happy with it on the Poddy C. Then he watched Red Blizzard's article again, and he's like, oh, well, there's something that I don't like. Then he read it the 3rd time, he said, and now he's like, oh, well, it's not quite as good as I thought it was. I'm not going to sit here and try to articulate it, because I use that word a lot, articulate. I'm not going to try to regurgitate what he said, because you can just go watch his video. I'll link that one below as well. But I know for me, just at a glance, I'm looking forward to being able to target things. What were you going to say, Jedith? Go ahead.
I was going to say it's very similar to how the Dinar system works. It's just kind of packaged differently, right? So you are still going to have a limited amount of bonus rolls, but you are also going to have to be very particular and careful about what you start targeting, because the way that it works is each dungeon or raid boss has its own loot table, and there's a certain amount of gear you can get from each of those things. So, for example, if you want a piece of loot off of a certain boss in a dungeon or in a raid, you would use your bonus roll, and it would give you one of those items from the list of possible items. You might get what you want. You might not get what you want. If you don't get what you want, then that item is removed from the loot table, and then the next time you use a token for that boss, you then have less to pick for or to possibly get. But you have to be very careful, because once you start working towards an item that you might want, you can't then shift and then start using your tokens elsewhere, because you only have a limited amount.
Right.
So you could potentially screw yourself out of getting exactly what you want by distributing your tokens in too many places at once. That's the only thing that I can see going wrong with it. So it is going to come down to making sure you understand exactly what items you want to be targeting, which can be tough, because what if you actually just end up getting that item through regular means, right?
That's what I was going to
get it to drop when you kill it, and you get that item, but you've been working towards it for the past 3 weeks.
I guess that's why they're called bonus rolls. It's just a bonus. Yeah, that's a very fair take. Yeah. And what about the Ascendant Void course here? Increases the item level of a fully upgraded hero or myth max quality Radiance crafted weapon or trinket from Midnight Season 1. So that's interesting. Be able to crank out a few extra item levels.
How many of those do we get? Does it say?
It might. Let me read real quick.
That's
here.
just the turbo boost item level bonus that we're used to, right?
But only on those three to four slots, right? Main hand. Is it offhand as well? I guess it is, right?
I think if you have
Or
a
is it
weapon
just
in your
main
offhand,
hand? Yeah, and then of course the 2 trinket slots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to find an announcement. It's how many you get per week or whatever, but I don't know.
because what if you
How do-
use different trinkets for different situations, but you can
Yeah.
only get like 3 of those tokens
Yeah,
total?
I don't know. I'm looking for if there is. Maybe they announced it. Maybe they haven't nailed it down yet. I'm not sure. Players will begin acquiring Ascent of Void cores from Midnight Season 1 in-game content, including raids, Mythic Plus, Bountiful Delves, and Nightmare difficulty prey hunts. So I guess you just accumulate them?
If there's no limit to them, then that's great.
I agree.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Even if you only get 1 or
Yeah.
2 a week, you know, that ain't bad.
But if you only get like 3 total, then you have to decide. You have to be very careful about where
Yeah.
you place them.
Based on how it reads, and don't quote me on this, anyone, but it seems like you'll get enough over the span of, you know, X amount of weeks to be able to upgrade as many weapons and trinkets because, you know, like you said, some Mythic Plus trinkets, some raiding trinkets, some single target trinkets, some multi-target trinkets, etc. So it looks like they're not going to be too stingy, which is nice. But in any case,
Hopefully.
I think 12 of 5 is looking pretty fun. I mean, again, it's one of those things to where I say again, but I haven't really said this episode. I've said it multiple times in the past, where I would rather Blizzard swing for the fences and knock it out of the park half the time than never swing for the fences. Like, are all of these systems going to be the best thing we've ever encountered in the game? Probably not. Like, I probably won't enjoy all of them or feel the need to do all of them. I'm personally excited about the prop hunt to core duel thing because I think that's just going to be fun. I like being able. I like seeing numbers go up. So being able to crank my trinkets and weapons up or weapon up, big fan of that because I'm just a numbers driven guy. But
Yeah, I like that. What you said, how they're swinging for the fences. I'm a big fan of just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks.
yeah, man.
Like, just go nuts.
Yeah. I think it's nice, and we know, of course. And by the way, OMV asked in Twitch chat, "Do you think Blizzard's gonna put another ring in a 0.7 patch?"
Oh,
We'll
no.
see.
Please no. Please no.
Oh no.
I think when they've swung for the fences a few too many times for that one personally, but
Yeah, don't do that one.
but
That's another example of illusion of choice, where we had all
Yes.
these different things you can put in the ring, but you only picked 2 of them or whatever.
Yep. But you know, we know that we have those little raid. I say little, but you know, a 1 boss raid or whatever it is on is it the 0.7 patch this season? If I'm not mistaken, we know that later in the expansion we have labyrinths coming. Yeah. Well, it's so we know that, you know, there are things that they have on their timeline or roadmap or whatever you want to call it that I think, again, it's just I love seeing Blizzard just iterate and generate and whatnot, and I think we're in for a good expansion. I say this before the first season even officially begins, but I'm trying to go in with a smile on my face, good attitude, optimistic. I know not everything's going to be perfect, and I know not everything's going to be for me, but as a whole, I'm looking forward to this first season.
There's a theory going around right now from people looking into this content that we're getting in the 0.5 patch, where the ritual sites are based around Naga, and then there's the fishing thing, the new fishing event, the anglers thing. Some people are saying it might be leading towards Ashara coming back, or like Naga-oriented stuff. That could be in the 0.7 raid or even just the next patch.
I mean, yeah,
would
the
love that.
0.1 patch. Froby just asked, what do you guys think about the Shrouded Zone east of Zulaman? That a lot of people speculate that's the 0.1 patch. I think the biggest speculation, the biggest reason that's why that's likely to be true is we've seen data mined like Warlock sets to have that area in the name of the set or something to that effect.
Right. Yeah. The same way that they found the Goblin raid and the Ethereal raid in within. Yeah, it has the same tag on it.
Dude, Zulaman is probably my favorite zone as a whole. I love the way that Voidstorm looks. It's, you know, Voidstormy. The background to the show right now is a Voidstorm background, but Zulaman was awesome. I loved leveling and questing through Zulaman personally.
It was my favorite too.
Yeah, the more Zulaman and dude, allied race.
Maybe
I would like that.
Yeah, man, that's dingo. All right, listen, we gotta get out of here. We're gonna shift gears here. Race to world first. Who's winning? Make your bet. Place your bets. Who's winning, Jedith?
I think I'm obligated as a North American to say Liquid.
Same, Liquid, 100%.
I'm saying Liquid as well, not just because I'm NA based, but I do think, I mean, they've won 3 in a row, right? They have the momentum. I'm not sure what roster changes have taken place in Liquid and Echo. I know Liquid cut a couple of people loose. I believe Echo recruited some people from Method between the last tier and this tier. So who knows, right? Ultimately, we'll see over the next few weeks. I think Liquid's going to take it again, personally. Stomp says, yes, Stompsville says, Echo is hungry. Liquid might be a little bit cocky. Sure. Or maybe they've really dialed it in. That's why they've won 3 times in a row, and it's going to be hard to dethrone them until, I don't know, until what? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they definitely just always win because of the NA time zone difference, right? That's definitely
That's
definitely
the
reason.
The only reason.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. I have a poll for this. Who wins the race for world first? 63% of people said Liquid. Oh my goodness gracious. We have about 5% of people saying Method. Never know. That actually raises the question, like, is there... Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm some expert. I'm an what is it called? Armchair quarterback or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Does anyone really have a chance other than Liquid or Echo? I would assume no, just because of all the factors, the money, and the skill level, and the coordination, and the amount of time that they've been a rating team by comparison, et cetera, et cetera. I don't see anyone dethroning Echo or Liquid until something changes. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not that those people aren't good players; they're incredible players. But I think just Liquid and Echo have a monopoly on it, and until one of them stop, if they call it quits, then that spot opens for Method to move into it. And I think if that were to happen to a lot of the players who decide to still raid from Echo or Liquid, would then migrate to Method. But yeah. I just think that it's too locked in right now. There's no way.
Yeah, some sort of massive event would have to happen for any real change to take place there.
Yeah.
All 3 of us
it's the same way with MDI, right? Like the Echo MDI team had such a chokehold on that competition, and it wasn't until they stopped competing, they called it quits, that it opened up for more people to actually have a fighting chance in it.
Yeah. How long do you guys think the race is going to last this tier? We were real quick before you answer. I was watching a video, one of Max's videos right before the podcast started, and he was saying, it could be a week, could be 2 weeks, could be longer based on. I mean, I guess it all boils down to tuning. I will say that I raid tested a number of bosses on the beta, of course, and none of the ones that I raid tested were overwhelmingly complicated. But tuning is tuning. Like if Blizzard cranks that dial to 11 and things have a lot of HP and or hit really hard, even an easy boss is going to take some time, Yep. Anyway, how long do you think it's going to take?
I always think it takes around 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel going into all these. Like, it'll take about 2 weeks. Maybe give or take a couple days.
So the way that it rolls out, that would mean that they're killing the March on Kel'Danas mythic end boss in the second week then, right? Or do they need...
Second week of mythic.
Second week of mythic. Yeah.
Because it comes out the 31st. Normal heroic mythic. Normal heroic mythic comes out March 31st. I don't see either end boss getting out of its week alive. So the week of the 24th, I think the Void Spire end boss will be dead by the end of that week, and I think the March on Quel'Danas boss will be dead by the end of the week, the following week on the March 31st to April 6th or whatever it is.
I think that would be ideal tuning.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
Who knows?
Because you don't want it to go on too long either.
Yeah.
We saw that back in the day. No, you don't want that.
No.
Or if they were just like, we have to go home. Dude, that
poor
place
guys,
made me quit raiding. So yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. I stopped after Castle Nathria, and I think I still made the right choice not having to endure Sylvanas at the end of what was that zone? Whatever zone that was, whatever it was. Sanctum, yeah, and then not having to. I mean, again, I'm not trying to say that all the bosses were terrible and the raid was the worst thing ever, but I haven't heard the greatest things about that experience. For whether it be the gym system in Sanctum, is that right? Apparently, that was a mess.
Yeah, Shards of Domination.
Yeah. And then Sepulchre just being whatever it was at the time. So, nevertheless, yeah, I think we'll see both end bosses dead by the end of the week that they release. So I don't know. We'll see. I think that this race is going to be a lot of fun. I've always been a big fan of raids across multiple zones. I think back to Cataclysm, your Blackwing Descent, your Bastion of Twilight, and your Throne of the Four Winds. I love when you have multiple raid zones in a tier. It's just, I love that personally.
Yeah, you get a change of scenery.
I'm looking forward to this one a lot. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about with the Race to the World first. Any other opinions you want to throw out there? You guys know who Jeff Kaplan is? Did you guys see the interview of Jeff Kaplan?
Yes. He is the developer GOAT. He's the man. Dude. Love that guy.
So speaking of full circle here, do you know his history in EverQuest? Oh my God. So for those who don't know, Jeff, do you want to tell it? You're more than welcome.
No. You
go ahead.
Jeff Kaplan, and he says all this by the way, it's a 5-hour interview.
Yeah.
The longest podcast I've ever seen.
I have not watched it all.
Oh my God. I've seen like an hour of it. But Jeff Kaplan, you probably know him as, Overwatch dude for however many years before he quit and left Blizzard. But way back in the late 90s, 99, when EverQuest came out, a friend of his convinced him to play EverQuest. He played a rogue. He eventually found himself in a guild called Legacy of Steel. He eventually found himself the GM of Legacy of Steel. And he was known for being very vocal in his opinion when it came to the raids in EverQuest and the tuning and the balancing of EverQuest. But and this is how small the world is, or that world was back in the day. So in Legacy of Steel, there were other people. In fact, the old GM of Legacy of Steel, I believe, I'm trying to remember the facts here, so forgive me if I'm mistaken here, was Rob Pardo. And so Rob wound up inviting Jeff to hang out with him and have lunch with him. And over the span of multiple months of meeting Rob Pardo and meeting other people at Blizzard at the time, again, this is late 90s, early 2000s, WoW was in development. Jeff didn't know this at the time, but Jeff was technically kind of being not interviewed, but kind of feeling things out. And they invited Jeff to apply as an associate quest designer, I believe is the title. And the rest is history. Then he's worked his way up through Blizzard and whatnot. But Tig Ol' Biddies was his.
Tig Ol' Biddies. I was about to ask if you knew what his character name was.
Tig Ol' Biddies was Jeff's rogue's name, but it's just, man, imagine playing a game imagine playing WoW, right? And being in a guild or a Mythic Plus team with somebody, and then over a few years, you get to know them really well. You guys meet up on IRL, and then you get hired on to work on the greatest MMO. In this context, post-WoW, the greatest MMO in history, or whatever you want to call it. It's just crazy, man. But anyway, I'll link that in the description below as well. It's a 5-hour interview, but if you care about MMO history, Jeff Kaplan, I mean, the whole bunch of stuff, it's
super fascinating.
It's very fascinating. So, yeah, Arctos in Twitch chat says Jeff Kaplan was a great trash talker to the devs, and he was.
There's some legendary forum posts.
Just legendary.
Imagine one of the top end players now in WoW, like somebody from Liquid or Echo, who's very vocal about stuff, then being recruited to work on the next, the next successor to WoW. Like it's a wild thing to happen.
It was a different world back then, like it was the wild. That's the thing. Like you got to remember 25 plus years ago when EverQuest was in its infancy and WoW was literally not even announced yet. The MMO industry was completely different then versus now, of course. It's crazy to think about. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. And any big plans for Tuesday or this next week with Normal and Heroic opening up? Mythic Plus is not yet, Rob. I'm sorry, buddy. You might be leveling another alt. All right.
I'm still grinding. Well, the dungeons have daily lockouts, right?
That they do. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm good.
And it drops champion gear next week, right? Instead of veteran? And zeros?
That I'm not sure, because I've heard some people say yes and some people say no.
We'll see. Put a pin in that. We'll circle back. We'll see. Yeah. You guys have any? So is that your plan, Rob? It's just a daily Mythic Zero clears?
Just a good plan. Just grinding, yeah.
Get more gear. Robert, are you doing the Pika Creator Bootcamp on Wednesday?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Yeah. So that's
I'm not
Pika's
popular enough, sorry.
No. It's just
You just
you don't
didn't
want.
know.
One day.
The problem is, I think a lot of us are raiding with our guilds Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful with what we get saved to and what we don't. But yeah, we're doing a creator. He's streaming on the official WoW channel. He's doing a co-stream thing Wednesday night. He's doing a Voidspire heroic creator bootcamp thing where we sort of teach people who are watching how to do the bosses and how to just get through the raid. So that'd be really cool.
Dude, hat off to P. I don't know if you did you attend the Northrend event, Jedith? Correct? You were one of the hosts, right?
Yeah, I was casting with tactics actually.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I saw you on stage. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't making that up. Dude, number one, Peak is an awesome guy. Number two, I'm so happy that stuff like that is something that Blizzard is interested in doing. Of course I didn't go, but that looked like it was so much fun. I love the fact that it was as successful as it was. And already planning out 2027 Northrend event. That's so daggum cool, man. But
yeah,
I love seeing the community. I love seeing the game thrive. And that's so exciting that stuff like this is being player driven, you know, like player, whatever you want to call it. It's so cool. Any other plans for the week? Oh, good.
I was just going to say, it was really cool that event started off with just, you know, Pika and a few other people trying to do like a sort of get together, like a Canadian get together.
Yeah.
But then they talked to Blizzard and Blizzard actually ended up endorsing it and like, you know, hopping onto the plan because I think they were planning to do something themselves. So both of those things combined, and it was cool to have an actually like Blizzard endorsed Canadian sort of like mini BlizzCon almost.
One might say the Canadian Blizzard event snowballed into something more.
I see what you did there. I see. I like it.
And with that,
actually, it just started snowing here again today. We had like almost summer weather, and then today it's snowing.
Dude, I woke up yesterday, and it wasn't a lot, but there was snow all over the place yesterday. It was crazy. It melted by the afternoon, but it's like, what? It's insane.
Yeah.
You guys are phenomenal. I hope you have an awesome week. I hope you have an awesome season. I will be sliding into your DMs as you know, the months unfold and whatnot, but do me a favor, real quick. I like to end the episode letting you guys just talk yourselves up and plug in yourselves as much as possible. So, Jedith, we're going to start with you. Where I know people know where to find you, but where can people find you? What's going on over these next few weeks for you, other than what we've already talked about, or maybe you just want to talk about it again? And yeah, man, take it away.
Yeah, if you have been following Devour at all and thinking of playing it, or you started playing it, you can find me on YouTube. A bunch of guides are there. I'm putting out a guide for season 1 over the next couple of days. I'm still working on editing it. It's a long process, but that'll be up before Tuesday. I will be raiding this week, a couple days a week, and I'll be trying to stream it. I usually don't stream raids because I've had problems with like lag and stuff in the past. Doing raids above 20 people is just a complete shit show in terms of lag. But hoping that with the new changes to add-ons and stuff, hopefully the lag is a little bit better and more tolerable.
Don't hold your breath.
I know. We'll see. So yeah, I'll be streaming on Twitch multiple days this week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, probably Friday. Yeah, that's it.
Are you sure you're going to be streaming Tuesday? Servers are down for a while.
I have to stream at some point. Whenever they come up, I'll be live.
That's fair.
The people need it. The people need the stream.
You're awesome, man. Thank you. I'd say this sincerely. Thank you for taking time again to come do the show. I hope you've enjoyed wearing your crown all episode. You're amazing.
I should have
just lean into it. Rob, it was a genuine pleasure to meet you, sir. Tell people where they can find you, what's going on, what's your focus, that kind of stuff.
You can find me on Twitch Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m. I go real early, so if you just want to put me on the background while you're working, that's what I'm there for. I got a lot of people who do that. You can also find me on YouTube. I haven't put out much content there in the last month or so, but the plan is to start putting out more stuff there, at least weekly. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. I'm also on the Twitter if you like the Twitter.
And then you guys both have Discord servers. Anything that direct people? Yeah, you can find those links on their channel. So go follow these guys. Go sub to these guys. Join their Discords. Plug in. Get involved. Watch them. Love them. give him some hugs, that kind of stuff. You can find me, BrutallStatic, everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Discord, YouTube, TikTok, etc., etc. BrutallStatic everywhere. So come hang out with me too, guys. If you watch this video live, thank you guys for being here. I love the fact that, again, that we were able to get Twitch and YouTube in the old chat box moving forward. Thank you, Twitch, for making that change. ... Finally.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you watch the recording of this on YouTube, I guess, yeah, specifically on YouTube, leave a comment below. We asked a lot of questions, had a lot of topics today, so feel free to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about what we talked about. But we're out of here. We'll see you next week. I don't have any guests to announce yet. I'm still working on the guests for next week, but I'll be back probably around the same time. So if you want to watch it live, it'll be Sundays, probably 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern, whatever it winds up being. So I'll announce it. But thank you guys. You're awesome. Season 2, episode 1, done. Go hang out with these guys. Go check him out. Rob X Jedith. Appreciate you guys.